All right, documenting my weight loss journey, daily vlog, and I just got out of the gym. This is my first week. This is my first week at the gym, and I embarrassed myself today because I was running on the treadmill. I was finding my stride, and I was trying. I always use that trying. Why I keep justifying a bad habit I'm trying to get out. But I was attempting to take my sweatshirt and cover the thing so that I wouldn't keep looking at it, because when you run on a treadmill, it appears to be the workout's taking forever because the numbers are right there. The numbers right there. And compared to real world running, which is what I did for a year and some change, there's a lot less distractions involved, and you're just sort of in the moment of just running. You're not really focused on the numbers, and you sort of just listen for your phone to give you the cues as to how far you've gone and how far left you got to go. And I opted to run in the gym this morning because the temperature was like 37 or 40 degrees. And while I could bear the temperature, from experience of running 5K training outdoors in cold weather, it's harder on my lungs. And what I do is I run slower and easier to compensate for that. And in the back of my mind, I thought that I would build up a tolerance, or that my lungs would change or adapt to the environment. But I don't believe that really happens. But I do run slower so that I don't work my lungs as much. And plus, I'm very sensitive to my asthma. And with asthma, it's like, all right, as long as I don't go past this point, I'm okay. And so there's a mental tug of war between wanting to push yourself and making sure you don't do something to cause an asthma attack, which I don't remember the last time having. But I do take time to really focus on my breathing and slow it down and keep it controlled when I'm exerting force, so that I can continue the task that I'm doing. So if I were to compare running on the treadmill and running in the real world, I prefer running in the real world. I feel like it's more rewarding. You're seeing more places. You see other people running too as well. You're out there getting it and doing it in the cold weather. It's like, all right, I'm tough. You're tough too. We're out here running. We're getting it in. We're not letting the weather stop us. We're tough, right? So that was sort of the situation there. And inside the gym, much more controlled environment. And I think it's definitely easier on the joints. And I feel frustrated because I feel like I've ran into like my plateau or my limitations as far as speed and endurance. Yeah, I can do 5K, and during the warmer weathers, I was knocking them out under 40 minutes. And then when the weather hit, 40 minutes, 41 minutes, 42. And it's frustrating because I want to be able to run like these young men and women, or I don't even know if they're younger. I can't say if they're old or young, but they are skinnier. And theoretically, I'm like, okay, can they run that fast because they're not carrying north of 250 pounds? What's the deal? Is it the weight? And I really theoretically wonder about that. So if I weighed 50 pounds lighter, I wonder how fast would I be able to run? Would I still be hanging around 5 miles an hour? Would I be able to go north of that? And I can push north of that. I just can't do it for long. And so as far as the speed goes, I feel like I've hit my plateau, and I wish I could run it faster to go at least 35 minutes. And which I did. I knocked out like a 35-36 one time. I don't know what I was on. I don't know what happened. Just everything lined up and I locked into it. I don't even know how I did that. And I did a vlog here about that. And I also did my first week of weight training this week, and I did arms. I felt like I got them good. But my legs, I don't feel like I got them very well because I don't really feel the soreness there. And I'm cautious about how hard I work my legs because I do need them to get around at work because of how random it is, which is frustrating because there are other people there that are working there. They know how their day is going to go. They'll have some work to do. They go to one location. They know how their day is going to go, and they come home. And then here I am in this position where I tend to not know exactly where I'm going, and I'm not really sure of what the direction is for the workout. So I'm like, what are we doing here? And it reminds me of chauffeuring. And I used to chauffeur for a few years, and I really didn't like it because it made it difficult for me to plan my day outside of work because of how random flights were, how random people were coming in late, coming out late at their house when you went to pick them up. But it's the first, I have to remember also, it's my first week in the gym since forever. And because of that, I can't beat myself up. But I don't want to be so lenient on myself that I don't work at a level that helps me increase. So this is my first run. If I recount what my first runs were, I could barely even run for a couple minutes. I mean, I was really out of breath. I really wish I had documented that because I don't know how I did that and kept coming back to it. And I guess it takes a little bit of craziness. And I really want to lose this weight. My weight's been pretty much staying the same. My nutrition is pretty much the same. I ate a lot more food that I cooked. However, the pounds just aren't coming off. Now the size is down, but the pounds aren't coming off, and that's what I want. I want the fat loss. I want the weight loss. Being more in shape is not enough for me. I want to know what life is like not being fat. That's the thing before it's said and done. And with all the things I want to achieve that I have not achieved, as far as career, lifestyle, relationships, as much as I want to achieve, I would like to at least know what life is like not being fat. How do I feel? Is it any different? I think it is different. I don't think it's a night and day difference. Like, I don't think it makes life near perfect, but I just wonder how because I've never liked the weight. I've never liked being overweight. I've had concerns about the weight, the health issues that being overweight causes. I have issues with a lot of African Americans being overweight, and you look over and it's like, well, why aren't in other cultures, other ethnic groups, white, Asian, more so white, because I see more white people out working outdoors than I see any other demographic. And I don't think it's simply because of population. I think there's something to it. I don't know. And it's not it's an observation. It's like, what are y'all doing? What's going on? Because nobody will sit you down and teach you this stuff. My dad did not teach me about nutrition. He didn't teach me about nutrition. He didn't teach me about those type of things. And the only reason I could deduce from that is that because he didn't know and he wasn't taught. And surely his father didn't teach him. And now I stand in the balance of turning that corner. It's a lot. And I hope that in me turning the corner that I set a new trend for my family and for my line, should that ever come. And it will. I'm not going to say should it ever. For when the line comes and I teach things to my children, which seems very interesting at this point. But I will teach them about nutrition. They will know. They'll see it. They may not even be taught it. They'll see it. But just showing what you're supposed to do to a child, I don't think is enough. I think you really have to sit down and have multiple conversations with them about it so that they'll get it. It's not enough to just walk it. You have to really sit down and really talk about it. But I don't think you can really talk about something that you don't walk. So it's very interesting. But it's my first week in the gym, first week strength training. I'm not losing weight right now. And that's frustrating. But I believe that if I keep picking away at this thing, something will hit. It doesn't feel good right now. It's not necessarily a high point. It's not necessarily a low point. But that's the situation as it is. So that's my weight loss update, and I will see y'all later.